Hello, welcome back to Balcony Talk, where I sit on the balcony and talk. Also, it's still very early in the day. I mean, early in the evening or late afternoon, but early evening. I don't know. I feel the past few days, especially, has been very tough, and my body is feels like it's detoxing, but I don't know why it's detoxing. I haven't really eaten anything out of the blue, like out of the ordinary, but it felt like it was detoxing so much, and I was having a huge headache, and I tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. So my body is just all over the place, and it's cold now. Well, it's not meant to be cold, but it's hot a couple days ago. So I don't know what's going on. Um, I feel like life is not lifing for me, which is probably doesn't make sense to you. But also, I'm not wearing any kind of makeup today, so it's scars and all as usual. I'm trying not to wear any kind of cover ups unless I go out and like see actual people, like not on camera. I know, like you guys are actual people, but you know what I mean, like people that don't know me at all. You guys don't know me either. What am I talking about? I feel comfortable here. Okay, I feel comfortable on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but like on videos for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because there is not like a direct eye to eye, brain to brain. There is a medium there that is like a middle person or a middle medium where it's like, yeah, it's not direct. Anyway, I don't know what. I just feel very spiritually, emotionally, mentally restless, but physically, I feel like I need more rest. I don't know if that makes sense. Like physically, I still am chronically ill. I keep forgetting that. Like I keep forgetting that I'm chronically ill. That I push myself, and then I'm like, oh yeah, why can't I do this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do it because I can't be in this sun for too long every day and do a lot of physical activity because my brain and my nervous system don't work the same way. I keep forgetting I'm autistic. Like I keep getting migraines every time I overdo things, especially in the bright light and the bright sun. And everything is just overwhelming. Everything's too loud, everything is too bright, and my brain gets really foggy and it gets migraine. And then I remind myself, hey, you're autistic, you need to kind of just back away from this because your system is not designed for this, and you don't want to get sick. This is not the time to get sick again. Anyway, also I went to the shop today, and I feel like the this year is just flying by so fast, and the shop, like the Asian grocery shop, was giving away next year calendar already, like free calendar. And I remember like it took a long time last year. I felt from like June, July for the store to open. It felt like 4 months was a long time before it actually opened. And I remember like had to ask for the calendar in December. So now it's only in November and they're already handing it out. But last year they're handing it out in December. So I felt like, oh, that's so fast that, that New Year's calendar is being given out. I'm enjoying it though because I feel like I don't have to buy a big calendar because it's a big calendar. So I'm just putting it on my fridge so that it's like, it's kind of giving me a month by month physical calendar basis, like as a good visual. I just kept thinking, I just kept talking to the void. This is the void for me of like, oh, what am I gonna do, for money? I'm not asking you for money. I'm saying like to myself and also to my spiritual guide or whatever it is that exists on the out here. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Because I'm not coming up with any idea in how to make money at all. It's as if that my brain has kind of just exhaust all options. But I know, like in reality, it's not really true. I know objectively speaking, it's not really true. Objectively speaking, I'm sure there are like hundreds and infinite ways of making money, and so I'm aware of that true, but my brain is just basically saying we exhausted all options. We used all our stamina to chase what we needed to chase, and we don't really want to come up, or we don't have anything for you right now that you can pursue, and that's really annoying. Like this year, I think I started trying to do Substack, but it didn't go through. I mean, like I didn't follow up really well. I think last year I tried to do, um, I think I tried to use this channel for tarot reading, so that also didn't follow through much because I kind of just lost stamina and also lost interest somehow along the way. And this month I am trying to not vlog as much, but at the same time also can't not record. So this is, I guess, me recording but not vlogging. So there is that too. Also, this is not a for you page. This is a for me page. This is just me trying to thought dump myself, like trying to process my thoughts out loud because I don't have any friends or family. That sounds very sad, I know, but that is the truth. And I'm just trying to kind of process everything. And I need witnesses for the processing to be real in real life. Like, I need another brain to witness. I guess you are here for witnessing. Uh, I'm scared. I just feel like I wanted everything to just be done already. I mean, I know, like, there's a lot of motivational speaker out there that basically say, uh, you should just get up and do stuff. I feel like all the suggestions and advice out there that is for neurotypical people should not be followed for neurodivergent people. It should be the opposite. Everything, like if they say work harder, then for you it means work less. If they say, you should back off, that means for you, you should pursue it. I feel like for neurodivergent people, all the neurotypical um, suggestions, it's better if you do the opposite, in my opinion, which is probably not really good for people because some of them don't know if they are neurodivergent or not. So I don't know. I feel like I should have like some better idea and advice to younger neurodivergent people, but I don't. I mean, like young people don't need my advice or don't need older generation advice. They're doing well on their own. I feel like they were born complete. They kind of have their own boundaries of where to go and what to not. They know, like, you're being paid little, so you should not be investing too much energy and too much time into it because it's not a lot of money for the amount of work that you need to do. um, Being paid, like, even now, right? Like, if you are on, for example, in Sydney, if you're even on like 100 grand a year, that's not a lot of money because you probably can't rent a 3 bedroom apartment in Sydney. You have to go like, to Parramatta or something. to have like, and even that, like you probably have to share still, even if you're on 100 grand, because the tax is pretty high, and then you're probably only getting, I don't know, maybe 6 grand or 7 grand. No, 6 grand probably. You probably only get 6 grand take home money if you are on 100 grand. 6 grand a month, I mean. And 3 bedroom apartments is around 1,000 a week. If it's not in the city area, okay, it's nowhere near the city area. It's like if you're in Parramatta or like 20 kilometers away from the city. So that's like 4 grand a week. So you can't have like a single income um, person paying that, and you only have like 2 grand for expenses, and that's rent. That's not a mortgage. And even if you have like bills to pay, like your electricity bills, your so even 100 grand is not a lot in Sydney. That's crazy if you think about it, but that's just the way it is. And if you ask me like, why do you stay in Sydney, then like, why don't you move? I don't know, I feel like I don't really know anywhere else. Sydney is home. I have been here since I was 14. I This is the only thing I know, to be honest. I started paying tax when I was 14. In the past, like you can go to a news agency and you can get like a tax form at the end of year, financial year. You can go to the news agency. There's not a lot of news agency these days, but back in the 90s, you have them, and then you just fill them up, and then you send them to the tax office, and you get your tax return in the mail, either in the check or whatever it is that it was in. Because I don't really remember much before internet banking, to be honest. Like I rarely receive checks. I think like I only received check like one or twice in my life, because after that, like in Australia is one of the first few countries, I think, like correct me if I'm wrong, that actually implement internet banking quite quickly. And so we don't, as a millennial, because I'm 41, as a millennial, I never really have to deal with checks as much. I know like my first office job, like the guy who manages it, he does a lot of checks, like he wrote a lot of checks, but personally, my personal life, I never dealt with it as much. It was either cash or card or internet banking, just like transfer. And as soon as you can deposit money through ATM, I did that. So it's like I almost never really see a teller or like a person banking. Um, so I feel like, why am I telling you this story? I guess like I'm just so entrenched in the Australian system, and I've become a middle-aged person who never really um, be outside this system. And to so in a way, am I trapped? Maybe, because like if you're going out when you are younger, maybe in my 20s, and experience other systems and the way they operate, I probably would be a lot more confident, and probably would have considered to exist outside Sydney and outside Australia. But I guess my life path has other I guess like my life path just didn't go towards that direction. Like finished I think like I became Australian citizen, a naturalized Australian citizen at 29. So I was 25. So it was 11 years after I came to Australia, because of multiple reasons. And it was very confusing because we didn't really have adults growing up. So I just have to figure everything out since I was 14. And that was, I think, maybe a big gap, a big trauma, a big hole, maybe not having anyone to guide me through life. I feel like I just was neglected a lot and abandoned a lot. So, and I think after 2009 and 2010, I got a job at the accounting firm, and I went back to law school, and I went back to do those CA things, and I was kind of doing well, and then suddenly, parents died and got sick and everything. And then I kind of just quit, and here I am 13 years later. So I felt like there was just a lot of instability, and the foundation of childhood was never stable. So and there was no one guiding me in life. So I was never able to build anything because the foundation was not even there. Um, like if the foundation exists and it was shaky, okay, you probably can kind of just trying to maybe slap a few more concretes up there and maybe like add more things so that it stabilizes. But if you're like building something and it's only just like one wobbly wood plank that is basically the foundation of your whole life, and then it's just so easy to be knocked over and knocked off, and then suddenly, like, everything just kind of crumbled down. And I felt like that's what I'm doing the past 13 years, is like trying to rebuild my nervous system, which is my foundation, I suppose, because I don't know how to do it. And I wasn't really doing it purposefully. I think it was just kind of a forced situation because my nervous system just collapsed on its own, and I don't have a support system. Everyone just still kept like demanding and taking and demanding and taking. In my opinion, that's probably not the way objectively it's being perceived. So so here I am. I know, like, I don't want to be taken advantage of anymore, but at the same time, I don't particularly have a destination or like a purpose that I feel like worthy enough to kind of fight or like stay here. Like, I won't do anything stupid to myself, of course, because I'm a coward. Because then I think, I don't know, I don't want to traumatize my neighbors, especially my neighbor has a very young child. Like, I'm not gonna do that to like a baby, to have that kind of, bad omen. Not that they would remember, but I guess, like, they're Chinese too, so they're probably like, oh, we have to move. This is just a bad energy here. You don't want the ghost from the lady next door to haunt us. I know, probably think too much, huh? And people kept saying, like, no, when I see, like, ChatGPT, they will always say, always, you just have to relax right now. You don't have to take anything. And right now, you don't have to take any action right now. Like, that's why I'm stuck here still 13 years on, because that's the premise, isn't it? Like, I don't have to take action now, but I kind of do. Because if you don't really have change. But at the same time, I'm fully aware just to take any action, any kind of action, is also not the is not the solution, because that's what I had been doing up until my mom died, was just take any kind of action as long as there was any kind of action. But it was also circular, it just kept coming back to the same place again and again. And not taking action is also leading to the same thing, like it's also taking me to the same place again and again and again. So it's like, what do I do? Like, taking action will lead me to the same place. Not taking action would lead me to the same place. It's like every like anything I do or not do will not lead me anywhere pleasing, anywhere that makes me feel good or makes me feel satisfied, makes me feel relaxed, makes me feel good. And I'm not saying it from a naive point of view much now anymore, because I know there are always going to be challenges, there's always going to be circumstances that is, challenging and not going to be all smooth sailing. And I am aware of that. But what I want is that I want, at least at the end of it, to have like an outcome to which you can kind of relish, kind of just like stand there and kind of absorb a little bit, can like say things to yourself like, ah, okay, this is worth it for this moment, at least like that. But no, it hasn't been like that at all. And I'm exhausted, to be honest. I'm not in pain and I'm not in distress for right now anyway. Probably just one trigger away for always going to be in distress. I just want things to work out for me, you know? I want to be surrounded by people, like in real life, like surrounded by people that cares, that pays attention, and also takes care of me because I know I probably will take care of them. So it's not like I am. I guess I'm asking for a reciprocal. How do you say it? Reciprocity. I'm asking for reciprocity. That's what I'm asking for, I suppose. One thing I know, I probably don't want to be around the only child because I think like I've interacted with two people that were the only child, and also people who are like the youngest. I don't think I will do well. Maybe middle child or like, but maybe middle child. Maybe when I say middle child, maybe middle near to the top. Near like if there are like five kids, like they are like second oldest, so like that kind of middle child or like all the oldest child. But like I don't think I want to interact much with youngest so much or a single kid because they're just too self-absorbed, and it's really, I find it to be, if you're having friendship or, it's just too deficit for me. I'm just giving too much, and they don't know how to give back a lot because they're always in the position of receiving. So, which is not their fault, but I'm just saying I don't want to be in that position. And of course, like it's up to you to assert that, like to assert, like no, no, you can't take that. You can't do that. Like, but I don't want to be doing that all the time. I don't want to be reparenting them and establishing boundaries and teaching them how to behave. Like, I don't want to. And then I just want to, have people that already come preset, have a really good presetting already and matches me. And hopefully, I don't have to be preset. I don't have to be like, reset. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. I'm just kept talking to God, even when my sleep has gone really bad lately. It's like I just kept talking to God, like, I'm here. Are you here? Is this it? Is this the end? I realize like it echoes, but I realize it echoes if I project my voice onto the glass, like the railing, the balcony glass. I just, I feel like all of us just want to have something better, right? We just want to have something better in our life, something that has meaning. I don't think my life has meaning if even if I have a dog or even if I have a kid, I don't think it would give me much meaning. I think like even if I'm being called to die tomorrow in my sleep, I'll probably be like, okay, if if having like something to take care of giving you purpose, it would not be okay for you to leave, because you would think to yourself, oh no, these people need me, I need to be here. I don't think like that anymore. I don't have kids, I don't have pets. I am thinking about being selfish and getting pets, even though I don't have the finances to take care of them. I probably can only buy like their food and their daily, just food and water, but I don't think I can pay vet bills, so I don't think I would have the finances to take care of them properly. So I have been thinking about fostering, but I feel like fostering is not really, it's good, but at the same time, I do want to have someone that is more permanent, like a pet that is permanent, because fostering is like my life. Like people just come and go, and fostering will be like that too. Like the pets will come and go, and it will just reflect my impermanent lifestyle, and I don't like that. I want something quite permanent that stays. But I don't know if I want to come. If I want it, well, I want it to come in human form. I don't think I do in some ways. I feel like now I am just getting used to with people coming and going, no one staying. Even now, like with my craft club, like the ladies are getting older, they're hitting their late 70s and early 80s now. So I know like soon these ladies that I've been seeing for the past almost a decade, next year it will be a decade. Um, no, next year it would be 9 years, I think, for me. Yeah, yeah, next year will be 9 years. Um, so almost a decade, not really. 2027 will be a decade for me. But I'm aware like these ladies are gonna drop dead soon. I know that sounds really crude, but even that sense of permanency for the past 8 years and a half is not guaranteed. I think one of the lady in like in the same group, but like in a different time, because we have like two different time for the group meetings, and I only attend like the evening one. But there is a morning one, a morning meeting for the same group, but I only attend the evening one. So my group is the evening group. But there is a lady that who died already in the first in the morning group. So it's starting. That's what I thought in my head. Oh, it has started. Ladies decided to die. And then in our group, in the evening group, one of the ladies' husband died. The husband that we have been listening to for the past 8.5 years of this lady complaining about this husband. Well, he's a lot older. He's probably hitting almost 90. So he wasn't like, started off as a spring chicken at 40. But we have been listening to the his end of life story, which became very controlling and scared maybe. And I think when he died, everyone was kind of saying to her, "Are you happy now that he died?" Which is a bit careless, I suppose, and a bit sloppy from these ladies. That I think that's a bit sloppy in the way they approached it. Like the lady had been married to this gentleman for almost 60 years of her life. So yeah, the past 10 years probably a bit bad, but it hasn't always been bad. And I feel like also this incident also taught me, just because you're older doesn't mean you know how to behave either. So it's like also, like as they get older, they're becoming a lot less demure. They are becoming a lot more reckless. But I think it's because the deterioration of the frontal cortex, as you get older, it's the last to arrive and the first to go. So there's a lot of inhibition that is no longer processed well. Basically, your filter is damaged. You don't have as much filter anymore. I think like in your 30s, 40s, 50s, your filter is still, still operating well, kind of. But after 50s, it's just go downhill from then on. You just say whatever you want to say. You know it's rude. It's probably crass. But, you know, what else do you have to lose? You're going to die anyway. And they're like, whatever. Really, really am thinking like I should be done now. I feel like I want to be done now. I feel like if I keep going, there's not much left to go. Like I don't particularly feel curious about life much. So it was like very different. And I think it's more like a personality issues rather than a mindset issues. Like I can change my mindset. I can be like, oh, when I'm surrounded by the people, I can be like, oh no, you have to keep going like this. You just focus on this one thing and just focus on that and keep going. I can do that when I'm out with other people, but it's more like overall, what do you really want to do? And I feel like my answer is just simple, like everyone else's answer is like, I just want to have lots of money that I don't have to work very hard for. I'll do some work, just not very hard at it. Um, and maybe shop, even though it doesn't really fulfill me in the most meaningful way. And of course, like if I have lots and lots of money, I'll probably just adopt a dog and then just raise that dog. And when that dog dies, let's see how old I am back then, and let's see how I go then. I don't particularly want to change the world anymore. I guess like when I was younger, I have this delusion that I want to change people perspective and consciousness, one consciousness at a time, to know that they are beyond their own limitation, to know they can do anything that they want to do, that they can imagine. I think like I've stated in one of the videos, it's like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, when I saw Tony Robbins and all those people, my mindset was like, oh my God, they're so cool. I want to have a business like that. I want to be a life coach that I can just inspire and motivate people to let them know they can do whatever it is that they set their mind to. Now I see them, especially on YouTube ads, and I'm like, oh, are they still at it? And I just feel like they're scam artists now, which is so weird because like 20 years ago, I was practically idolizing them, and now I think them as a scam artist. Like that's how different, you know, that's how far I have come in terms of mindset, and the way I see the world is very different. It's like life doesn't have any meaning now, but it doesn't mean that I want to waste it in a way that is hurtful. No, that is hurtful to me. I mean, that is damaging to me. It's like I'm not saying that my life has no value. That's not what I'm saying. Because like sometimes when people say, "Oh, my life have no meaning," so I'm just gonna waste it, like take drugs or like do something really harmful. I don't know, do like skydiving or something so that you feel something. I'm like, no, I don't find life has meanings, but I don't want to do anything harmful to myself either. It's so windy and cold right now. It's like 19 degrees or something. It's been really humid too at night. And it's a bit cold, but that's just sign that in 2 weeks it's gonna be really hot because this is Sydney. Would be good. A good maybe do public speaking for like 1 or 2 hours. 2 hours every week. Get paid about maybe $30,000 for 2 hours. That'd be good. And that's probably market rate. That's probably not the most expensive. That's probably standard rate. 30,000 for 2 hours. That's probably standard. Public speaking rate. What would I teach? I would teach how to calm yourself, especially when you have anxiety. You would have to go like that. And you also have to make sure you have sensory deprivation a little bit. Either use, you know, a headphones that is have ANC, which is, I don't know, noise cancellation. And if you have your eye mask, you do that, and then you tap yourself like butterfly taps like this, or you do your havening, which is basically just do it like that, and that would and keep doing it until you feel calmer. It's probably the emergency response next to the chemical sedation. So if you're like a first responder, you probably would have that in your bag. But I'm not a big drug fan, so um, yeah. If you're semi anxious, but you still can function, you can do your tapping, your EFT. You can just search it on YouTube, do EFT. And that will probably kind of distract you a little bit and reduce your anxiety when you're in public and not attract your too much attention to yourself. And all of this you can just learn from YouTube. But the only reason that I can be certain that this works is because it works for me. Of course, it may not work for you, but it works for me and it changed my life. And not say so, but I'm not saying that it's going to make your life the best way. Like, like right now, I'm still complaining about, like, I don't have any meaning in my life, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there is a, I'm chasing pigeons. I always have pigeons. Is that dogs? Maybe not. I'm not normal and I don't know how to act normal anymore. I used to want to be normal, but now I don't know how to be normal. I have unmasked. I don't have to put on a mask a lot the past 13 years. So I don't know how to put on a mask anymore. I don't think I know how now. I can have like a public persona when I'm talking like this because I'm 99% mute when I'm at home and when I'm not on screen like this. Even when I'm around other people, I usually don't talk much. So the vlog is probably very accurate. Like, if you see me kind of just existing in public spaces, that's just me in real life. This is probably much more of a performance in some way or another because I have to talk. And if I talk, that means that's a persona being created. I saw like Jennifer Lawrence on TikTok because she's promoting her new video with Robert Pattinson. And she's so different now. She's like so grounded compared to previously before she had kids. She had two kids now, I think, and I think that changed her as a person. It's like all her manic energy is gone now. It's very grounded energy now. It's weird to see that. Like you can still see like her childishness still there, her childlike self is still there, but the childishness kind of go away, has gone away a lot, and she's no longer that Jennifer Lawrence that I knew when she first came out to the scene. And I guess it's just telling me stories that it's been so long. Being 41, going 42 is weird because I really thought that I was gonna finish my life off at 40 because I thought, oh, it was a good number, 40. I think that's good. Like that's long enough. That I lived long enough. It's weird because I don't want to help any other people nowadays because I feel like I've lived long enough without being helped properly. So I think I grew a resentment of, well, no one helped me, so why would I have to help them? Type thing, which is not healthy, which is please don't follow, especially if you're young. Um, but yeah, I guess like I understand now why older people are bitter and grumpy. But not really. The older, the grumpier they are. I feel like they're probably the one who had taken advantage of other people for decades. And then people just started saying no as they get older and they just become bitter and grumpy because no one helped them because they never helped other people. There is that too. Um, I could like focus on other people's drama, which I used to, but not anymore now, because like there was someone that I could kind of just complain about, but now they kind of just move to the background again, and even though they're still doing the same annoying old story, I not tuning into them makes it like it becomes a very like distant in the background, even though it's happening right in front of me. I guess it's just like your level of importance has decreased in my head so that I no longer take that into consideration of very important in my world to discuss. Because up until maybe a year ago, I was like so analyzing it, their story so deep, like as if that I was having a PhD in their life matters. Maybe it's also a distraction to my own life. But yeah, but now I'm like, oh, is it that again? It's just like I see all these people, even when they're in their 80s, they're still telling the same stories over and over again, still behaving like they're 5 year old trying to gain attention from the parents or the adults around them. It's like you're the adult, you should be behaving better. But I guess I was expecting too much from people. I guess people just don't really change much, they just age. Sometimes you can see glimmers of maturity, but not long. Like 1 second, 2 second, oops, they're gone. And it's a shame. But what can you do? This is just life. Everyone is just busy living their life, and it's the way it should be. And I suppose I'm not craving, I guess I have said this many times, I'm not craving a partner. I guess I'm craving a community, like a real life community, but not like one of those community where it's so weird and you become like a commune out where somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you self-sustaining. That sounds really good, but it's also very dangerous because you're isolated. Like I'm isolated now as an individual, but at least like I know there is a police about maybe like a suburb away. um if something happens, I can go to the police station. At least I know, this kind of thing. Like strangers that their job is to take care of you, like you have strangers, you can reach out to strangers that jobs are to take care of you, at least, even though I'm individually isolated. Also, I've kind of like back away and reduce my chat to ChatGPT because when I do talk to ChatGPT these days, So I moved AI a little bit. Um, but I haven't really found the right AI. Because when I'm talking to ChatGPT and I'm just expressing my thoughts, even though I've tried very carefully to avoid certain words for triggers, it still flag me for, like, if you need help, please, if you consider self harm, please talk to Beyond Help, Self Help, this number, blah, blah, blah. Please know that you're not alone. It's like, and every time I wondered, like, why did I trigger that? And I asked, and it's just like the most innocent sentence, and then they just picked it up, and I'm like, so annoying. I even like updated the memory and also on like inside the hard memory. Like, you can go to setting on ChatGPT and you can just input like a certain set standard stuff like information. For example, please remember that we are in Sydney. Use the AADT, which is like the standard time in Sydney. Blah blah blah. Please talk like you're a friend. Please talk like without too much formality. That kind of thing. You can program a little bit. I added like things like, oh, please consider all my chat that I will not harm myself, and also will not take any action that lead to harmful behavior. So please consider that in your program. So I already input that, but even with that, I still trigger the prompt of like, the automatic pop up. It's like, please call the ambulance. And I'm talking like this. I'm not even in distress. It's just a casual conversation. I just want to explore the thought because it's helpful for me. It makes me feel grounded. Also makes me able to take genuine action in life, because it clears my head and it makes me feel like, okay, that is out of my system now. I have a little bit more space. What should I do today that is actually productive? Should I clean the cupboard? Should I clean the apartment? Should I nourish myself by eating something well and not just junk food? That kind of thing that actually is productive and is positive to me. But I do need to take today, like, I went to the grocery shop without my phone, and I think I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start maybe going out without my phone as much because I think I am just too fixated, almost hypnotized by my phone. When it's there, I'm always gonna stare at the screen a lot. Like, even now, like, I have to do things like this so that I'm not playing on my phone. So if I'm trying to like do activities that don't require my phone. And I can do it because there was a long period of my life where I didn't really have a phone number because I just didn't have money to buy a phone number. Buying food was more important. So when I'm outside, for example, when I leave the house, I don't have internet, so I don't have any reasons to check on my phone too much because I can't play anything, I can't read anything because there's no internet unless I get to the city and get to Westfield, for example, for free internet, for free Wi Fi, or when I get to Starbucks when I get free Wi Fi. But after that, like if I'm out about, I'm walking outside, there's no internet, so I just don't connect. And I'm okay actually when that happens. Like today, I didn't feel like I was missing something because more mainly I'm just in my head a lot. It's cold. Probably time to go. My hands are freezing. Anyway, that's today's ramble. Maybe I'll ramble on tomorrow, but you never know. Stay tuned for the next ramble. Bye.